Hello, everybody. This is out of character for the show, but we need to settle on the bench for just a second to talk about the sponsor of today's show, Knack. Do you carry around a lot in your backpack, like how LeBron James had to carry the Cleveland Cavaliers to 4 straight NBA Finals appearances? Does your messy and disorganized backpack make you want to pull a Bobby Knight and throw a chair across the room? Well, with Knack bags, you can look that frustration straight in the face and tell it, you're out of here!
Knack bags are a combination of your everyday backpack, a travel backpack, and a laptop bag. You have several pockets around the bag, plus a patent-pending hidden expandable carry-on bag that will help you keep everything you're carrying around organized. Pockets on pockets like Patrick Mahomes picks up passing yard after passing yard. Plus, the interior is as padded as a lineman, allowing you to keep all of your electronics safe and sound. The best part, you don't have to look like the student athlete that just came out of a 3-hour lecture class. No matter the need for your bag, Knack fits your lifestyle. Its look is sleek, organized, professional, and stylish, allowing you to look your best while you work your best.
And right now, if you head to knackbags.com for a limited time, use the promo code BENCH with your next order to get a free TSA-approved lock with purchase. Make sure to add the TSA lock to your cart with your Knack bag of choice and use the code BENCH at checkout to get it for free. Knack, the one-bag life.
This is Empty the Bench with Tom Albano.
They recognize where this next season is going, and they're basically saying, okay, we're going to throw the towel in on this season, hope and go through Deshaun suspension and everything, and hope that the next season we can get back.
Nick Morgeson.
Where 1,500 people were fired from the medical space of all spaces dealing with COVID because they didn't want to get a vaccine shot. And now you're going to let Aaron Judge and Kyrie Irving say, well, screw you and your vaccine mandate.
And Nick Federa.
Greed also mixes together with stupidity at a remarkable level here.
Empty the Bench starts now.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
Okay, Will, we will do so. Well,
Sorry. Now, we understand that that's not a sports reference, but it was so funny.
It was just there. It was the easiest layup you could think of, and we had to take it.
By the way, welcome
the
to...
moment of the week. It's the moment of the week.
Yeah, by the way, welcome to episode 128 of Empty the Bench on the Empty the Bench podcast network presented by Knack Bags. That's Tom Albano. I'm Nick Federa. That's Nick Federa. I'm Nick Morgeson. There we go. I'm not delusional, I promise.
Wait. I was going to say, wait a minute. I'm getting confused here. If you were Nick Federa, you would be down here, Nick Morgeson.
Put me back in my spot. I feel naked without it. Thank you.
By the way, we have a lot to get to, but first, as we said, you saw it in the intro. Make sure you check out our sponsor, Knack Bags, as well. The offer still applies. Go to the Knack Bags website. Check for the TSA-approved lock by putting in the code BENCH, BENCH. It's a $15 value TSA-approved lock that you get for free when you buy a Knack bag. So please.
Just make sure you put your bag in the cart first, and you put the lock in the cart first, and then you use the code at checkout.
Right. Exactly. But make sure you use the code BENCH as well. So
it's a very punchy offer. 15 Will Smiths can't be wrong.
I have to make that a sound effect from now on when someone does something really stupid.
It's not an offer that punches, but it is also an offer that slaps.
Yeah, it does. As the kids say, it slaps.
Oh, God. No, why do I feel like we're going to go back to 1990 all over again with these references? I mean...
Anthony wants to know if you're okay, Nick.
No.
Well, which Nick here? The answer is yes, by the way. I say the only one who's okay on this show right now is me. And by the way, thank you to everybody who voted on my little wrestling shirt poll that I randomly threw up in honor of WrestleMania Day Night 1. The winner, of course, ends up being the latest addition to the Hall of Fame, The Undertaker.
I mean, that is a hell of a shirt.
Thank you.
Good shirt. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today. Let's go through it briefly. Bruce Arians retiring. We'll get to that as well. Todd Bowles. Somehow, if you watched our promo last night, you got to see what I thought of that whole thing. NFL rule changes. Overtime now has special rules. We'll get into that as well. Rooney rule changes. Women now involved? Yes. Todd Deshaun Watson back in the news. Are we really surprised by this? No.
Speaking of women.
Right. March Madness. We'll get into that. We're getting towards the end of probably one of the better months in sports. Albert Pujols back with the Cardinals as MLB season 22 season approaches, and he will retire after this coming season. We'll do our MLB preview. And I think the story, though, we need to start with first before we get to any of the football. And this kind of broke last night actually earlier in the day. We got to talk about, now let me go to our banner here. Hope Solo got arrested on DWI and child abuse charges. And I'm looking around we get unlucky because the breaking stories seem to find us at the worst possible time, right?
It usually does after everything is all set and recorded.
That's the irony that you post that right after I get it. You say that after I get a notification. That is the best time of sorts. Well, March Madness is. Baseball season approaching is. But this is not.
This is not. This is definitely not. I mean, you could count if I had a nickel for every athlete that was arrested for DWI. I mean, I'd be a millionaire at this point. But still.
But child abuse?
Well,
child abuse? I did not have that on my bingo card.
So I actually did
I pulled the story up as well.
I was going to say you I guess had more experience because more looking into the story because I didn't see the story because I didn't get home till like midnight last night. I'll read the story here from ESPN, however. Former U.S. women's national team star goalkeeper Hope Solo, who we know has a little bit of a list of controversies to her already, was arrested after she was found passed out behind the wheel of a vehicle in North Carolina with her 2-year-old twins inside. That's probably where the child abuse stems from.
But I didn't know it was called child abuse, though. Is that what it's? I thought it was called like reckless endangerment.
Technically, it really depends on the state you're in.
A police report said Solo was arrested on Thursday in a shopping center parking lot in Winston-Salem and charged with driving while impaired, resisting a public officer, and misdemeanor child abuse. She has been released from jail and has a court date of June 28th. A passerby noticed Solo passed out behind the steering wheel for more than an hour with the vehicle's engine running and the 2 children in the back seat. A responding officer could smell alcohol, and the warrant said that Solo refused a field sobriety test and that she took the blood test, however, but her blood test came back basically having failed, basically positive for a DWI.
Right. And so apparently her twins are 2 years old. Yeah. So that's another issue in itself. And like you said, she was in a Walmart parking lot. And basically, like you said, she passed out for an hour with the engine turned on, which all those components together, along with alcohol, don't add up to a happy conclusion.
Are pretty ugly, as a matter of fact. And I mean, it is usually par for the course for me in these cases to be pithy. In fact, I'd say that's my stock and trade. But in this case, I mean, it's pretty obvious she has a problem. It's pretty obvious that there is a sickness at play here.
Well,
she needs to get help for.
The one thing I will say is I don't know about her history of alcohol. All I know about is her history of being a horrible person to people in the past. Like Tom said, I think she called out her coach in 2007 for taking her out for another player. She's had other issues of controversy, just being mean to people. And
her well, I know Wikipedia is never really the best source, but because, it lists everything, I have everything here. 2014 was the her half sister and her nephew. That was the first I remember hearing of Hope Solo having issues.
Off the field issues.
She was suspended. She was suspended for 30 days in early 2015 after she and her husband Jeremy Stevens were pulled over in a U.S. Soccer-owned van. Yep. And Stevens was charged with DUI. She was also benched after publicly questioning Coach Greg Ryan's decision to start Brianna Scurry against Brazil in the 2007 World Cup. So controversy, as Nick would say, follows her around.
Not as strongly as other athletes, but nevertheless noticeable controversy.
Does this seem a little bit like Tiger Woods to you a little bit?
No.
Not really. Because he was never really arrested for DWI, was he?
Depends on how police received answers and how they write it up, according to Anthony.
I don't agree with that because she's a public figure. It's going to look bad one way or the other. It doesn't matter how they get it written up.
It is going to. It is going to.
I think no. I think
bad.
I think he was talking about the circumstances of child abuse.
Yeah.
I agree with that because I don't know if you can call it child abuse. It's that because to me, and I could be wrong. Tell me, child abuse is usually when you actually physically.
It is, however, endangerment. It is
I
at the
agree.
very least endangerment.
I thought it was reckless endangerment or child endangerment is what I thought it was.
At the very least, I would think this is common sense, but I guess not. You should not be, have all this alcohol in you and be behind the wheel with or without children in the backseat, let alone babies in the backseat.
Yeah, 2-year-old twins. What's so weird about this? Actually, I shouldn't say it's weird. This seems like par for the course. Like for public figures, they think that they're indestructible and nothing can happen to them.
I mean, you would think it would be fairly obvious to say, "Don't get shit faced and go to Walmart with your 2-year-old twins in the back seat of the car."
Let's clarify one thing. We don't know what she was doing. We just know that she was in a Walmart parking lot and she passed out.
Child abuse can be anywhere between verbal endangerment, physical.
Yes, there is a broad spectrum in terms of the definition of what constitutes child abuse and what does not.
And by the way, when I was looking at the different articles, and again, whenever there's a public figure involved, and I think you know where I'm going with this, every content farm, I call it, has a different headline. And it pisses me off when each content site has a different headline or a different interpretation of a headline.
Well, they're all trying to gain the SEO, you see.
Yeah,
that's a conversation for another day.
I don't know. I thought
she has not been. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say 10 things about Hope Solo. Number 3 will shock you.
Number 4 is just stupefying.
Well, I guarantee you it's 1, 2, 3, and won't do number 4.
Oh God!
I'll be nice to everybody today.
She hasn't been involved in U.S. women's soccer for a while now, right?
Well, I think she eventually walked away, even though they were looking to kick her out for all the bad things she did.
The Hope Solo, yeah, she retired. When did she retire? Oh, it was 2016 Olympics.
It was right after the
reality is though, she was basically
given the heave ho.
Yeah.
Well, they probably said to her, "Hey, either you can walk away now."
Speech and plagiarism. Yes, Anthony.
Right. Whatever. But I was going to say either they've said to her, "You can walk away now. We won't say anything because the public already knows, or you could just stay here and we're going to kick you out. Your choice."
I mean, this is something that affects ex-players, ex-athletes in any sport, no matter who you are, and it's just unfortunate and saddening that it happens to Hope Solo.
And
again, this is kind of on the ex-athlete bingo card.
Well, I don't know if she's retired from Team USA. I don't know if she's still doing other stuff. I know she's doing, I think, a podcast for SiriusXM now. I know she's doing some media stuff. Who knows if that continues with what just happened?
Probably not.
But
yeah, I'd imagine not.
So she put out. She just put out a tweet 18 minutes ago. It was on her Instagram. They posted it to Twitter. For those who've reached out, showing love and support. This is from her representation. For those who've reached out, showing love and support, thank you. Our family is strong and surrounded with love. Our kids are strong, intelligent, happy, and vibrant, and we are present every day, giving them the best life possible. We will be able to share the facts in due time. In the meantime, our kids are enjoying the North Carolina sun, eating popsicles, and playing on our property. Life can be tough, but these are truly the moments that matter. I feel blessed to have this kind of love in my life. Now,
which, if I may translate from PR speak to English, it would basically just be one loud, long, uninterrupted fart noise.
Well,
yeah, it would just basically be the transcript would basically just be fart with about 15.
Well, yesterday on April Fool's Day, and weirdly, people misinterpreted and thought this was a joke originally when they saw it.
I mean, you got to be a little skeptical on that day. You got to have the mind of a skeptic on April Fool's.
Everybody who breaks news is just having the worst day on April Fool's Day.
No, but this came out from her account though.
Yeah,
exactly.
On April Fool's Day.
Okay,
so,
hang on. We have another comment from Anthony. It is on the ex-athlete bingo card. At least she didn't ask the officer, "Do you know who I am?"
Thank you, Tony La Russa.
And then just if you're gonna go full Karen, you might as well just add every single, just check off every single box.
Tony La Russa Mara.
Yeah. But I was going to say, and I was reading some of the comments on the original post on April 1st that was posted on her account from the council. And people are saying this is unfair. People are judging her. No one knows all the facts. Hello.
Yeah, but this is a pattern of behavior.
But wait a minute. You're a public figure. If you do something stupid, you're going to get called out for it.
Once is judging, twice is a pattern. Three is clear a couple Saturday nights in a row because this is a habit.
Right. But you know what? I get mad at people on Twitter and other platforms because you can't judge her. She can do what she wants. No. You can't do what you want.
The law. She broke the law.
Celebrities are not. We've talked about the frustrations of celebrities thinking they're above the law. And if people and if there are people like us who are allowing them to be above the law, that's a wrong on us.
Go ask Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods drove a car under the influence.
And the only thing that I can say at this point is I just hope that she gets the help that she needs.
Well,
I really do.
Is she going to do the typical public figure thing? Well, I don't have a problem. I don't need help.
And then all of a sudden you admit you have a problem, you get clean, and then you get a cover. You write a book, and then you end up on the cover of People magazine.
And the sick part is, so what will happen is Sirius, who I think owns the podcast right now, they'll suspend her, and they'll put out a dumb statement like every other company does. Until we know the investigations of what happened, we unfortunately have to suspend the podcast until further notice. And then because she's a public figure and they clear all the charges, like a certain person we're going to talk about in a little bit, they get everything back and they earn $200 million in a fully guaranteed contract, and everyone forgets.
And I was going to say, and then the next episode is the most listened to episode of the podcast.
Oh, well, because her PR is going to say, well, you have to address this now.
If it's on social media and your life is in the public eye, sorry to cover you up, Nick Federa, but Nick Anthony wrote this long comment. No shit, there are always people judging. She needs to live her life her way, and police need to treat her like a normal person with DUI.
Thank you. Usually I don't agree with Anthony very often, but this one I agree with. Because what's that joke they make in Family Guy? I forgot which episode it was. We put our pants on once. Oh, it wasn't Family Guy. It was American Dad, where she's chasing after the celebrities constantly to get in.
No, wait a minute. Are you talking about put our pants on one leg at a time?
Yes.
Isn't that Bob's Burgers?
Or was it Bob's Burgers? I don't know. It was one of them. They're all the same show, essentially. Anyway. But
great. Now we pissed off the American Dad fan base and the Bob's Burgers fan base.
And the Family Guy fan base.
We pissed off Seth MacFarlane.
You know what? I'll do it to myself.
You suck.
Perfect.
But the way I look at this is, she did this to herself. And anyone who goes on social media and says, you can't judge her. Of course I can judge her. She's a public figure. I can judge her if I want.
I'm Judgy McJudgerson.
I'm sure there are people who are judging us.
All right. Now back to the regularly scheduled programming.
Okay. Well, it's actually not our regularly scheduled program because we're going to be changing our show name if you guys are getting where I'm going with this. We are no longer going to be Empty the Bench. We are going to be Empty the Bowels.
Oh, no!
Okay.
So,
wait a minute. I haven't been able to use this in a while.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
So I wear this Undertaker shirt. An Undertaker is, as we call it, the dead man, and always seems to rise, just like how Tom Brady seems to never go away. But it's kind of funny that as Tom Brady rises from the dead, the Bruce Arians coaching career goes to dead. So
he steps aside, and Todd Bowles is now going to be the HC of the TBB.
That was good.
This is no Bill Belichick that we're talking here.
This is no Bill Belichick. No, this is. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody was tinfoil hatting the minute that they announced this. Oh, Bruce Arians stepped aside for a reason. He doesn't like Tom Brady, and he thought he'd finally
Brady forced him out.
Well, everyone was saying, of course it's Tom Brady, because Tom Brady makes the call. Nobody else, not the ownership, not anybody else, not the GM. It's Tom Brady's the GM.
Here's the
Just
GM.
Just like how LeBron James is everything to whatever NBA team he is, Tom Brady is everything to whatever NFL team he is.
You had to make a LeBron James reference.
I swear, you need to have a dream one day. You need to have a dream one night where every face around you is LeBron James.
Nah, it's already happened.
I was afraid
Anyway,
of that.
but I was going to say, I feel like this is accurate too,
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
because basically Todd Bowles and Tom Brady now have to be friends because Bruce Arians retired.
Well, it's a good thing. I really feel like he did this to do Todd Bowles a favor, and I don't mean that. I don't mean that to disparage Todd Bowles. I've always liked him, even when he was with the Jets, because most of the Jets' problems were not really his fault. But I feel like he's being given, okay, you have everything you need, run it back.
By the way, Anthony just reminded me of something too.
He wants to be able to take every opportunity to get Todd Bowles to succeed.
By the way, speaking of Bowles,
Yeah, I was waiting for that after the joke.
that one totally slipped my mind. Usually I'm like right on money with that stuff. I'm like, ow, I forgot about flushing the toilet. If you like,
Speaking of, why was my voice clip covered up at the top?
that was part of that was the clip.
I know it was part of the bit. I know it was part of the bit.
Your
Oh,
finger was
man.
a little bit too twitchy on the trigger there.
Well, let me say one thing, though. Let's get back to the actual sports at hand. Bruce Arians and Tom Brady, their relationship was not good for a while. We knew this. We knew that there was a problem. We knew that Tom Brady, if he could have Bill Belichick, he would probably grab him tomorrow and put him with the Bucs if he really could.
And I'm sure Belichick will call for a press conference where he'll write on a napkin, "I resigned as HC of NEP."
He wouldn't even. It wouldn't even be a napkin. It'd be just a Post-it note. He would just put a Post-it note on Robert Kraft's forehead.
No, you know what we should do?
It'll be a Microsoft Teams message too. Craft.
You know what we should do? We should put it in a knack bag.
I'm out, motherfuckers.
Well, we should put that note in a knack bag and send it to them.
Knack, would you do that for us?
Oh God! Wait a minute. You said that there were problems with Arians and Brady.
Of course, there was. It was documented.
Sounding naive, but really?
Yes, because Bruce Arians is an old-fashioned guy. I mean, Tom Brady's an old-fashioned guy, but he has adjusted to the new game over the years. But Bruce Arians had his own way of thinking. This goes all the way back to when he was a coach in Arizona. He didn't get along with some players.
They won a Super Bowl together, for Christ's sake.
Unfortunately, guys, we're never gonna because I mean the circumstances, the fact that Brady's coming back in full. I mean, Arians isn't. I mean, here's the thing: the circumstances sound weird, but honestly, we're never going to get the real answer. Not until at least years down the line.
Well, yeah,
Tom Brady has a book to write, and even then, he'll be frustratingly vague about it.
but wait a minute. It's not like Bruce Arians disappeared. He's in the front office.
And he says he's going to retire in February, anyways.
Which I'd imagine is yes, you'll be in the front office, meaning the box seats, With
No. He's going to be in the utility closet.
They'll just put a lock. They'll just wrap him up in bubble wrap and then just put a padlock on him.
You know what? I could see Tom Brady now.
I hate you. Get the out of here.
Just truss him up with baling wire like Christmas tree lights.
You know what we should do? We should do because Amazon's like the big thing. We should just wrap him up, put an Amazon GPS on him, and send him to the next place that'll actually allow him to do what he wants.
I mean, I know the Jaguars are they're
What?
looking for
Do that to Bruce Arians.
Why does everyone? Wait a minute. Time out. Okay.
You're right. That's too cruel.
Why does everyone, when they have a bad situation, think that the next job they should have is with the Jaguars?
Because the Jaguars are perpetual tire fire and have been since Jake Delhomme. And Jake Delhomme wasn't even the quarterback.
At this point, Trevor Lawrence would have better luck with Tony Khan than Shad Khan. He should go to AEW.
I mean, at this point, he'd have better luck with Tony Kornheiser. Still,
Oh God.
Pardon the interruption. So Trevor Lawrence.
Should be more like partner appearance. We're having temporary struggle.
Temporary.
Fine, full struggle. Oh,
Jags,
God.
there you go. The Jags always seem to be one piece away, and they can revive there.
how many times have I heard that? I have been hearing that since I was in high school. Either you look, I'm gonna go all full German. Either you're Scheiße or get off the pot.
Wait a minute. Did someone say get off the pot?
All right. Let's talk about some real big things going on in the NFL. Well, it sounds like big things. Yes, overtime rules have changed. Yes, both teams are going to get possession of the football, but wait a minute. No, it's only for playoff games. In the regular season, screw you.
Just so you know, I'm going to get this out of the way now because we have a lot of things going on in the NFL, and I know we're going to have a huge mess to clean up. But
The Empty the Bench now takes a trip to the circus. That is the NFL. Always has, always is, and always will be.
So I always feel like these rule changes are completely arbitrary and completely pointless. A lot like the rules of the game that SpongeBob and Patrick are playing. But
When it's not Tuesday, Patrick. I mean, so I don't understand this. Like, yes, I get it. I get it because of the Chiefs-Patriots that happened in 2018. I get it because of the ending of the Chiefs-Bills game, which was one of the greatest playoff games that I have ever seen in my life. But it's only in the playoffs. How does this make any sense?
it doesn't make sense. I was talking to Johnny the other day, who does our show Game On, who actually got his new co-host. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. But he was saying that this is reactive instead of proactive.
Yeah, he's right.
And I agree. And I agree because people are mad because Patrick Mahomes drove down in 15 seconds with 3 timeouts to tie the game, and that led to the overtime and all the issues and all that stuff. And to be quite honest, in the overtime rules, I think it's stupid. Leave the overtime rules alone. If you can't play defense and you can't stop a touchdown from scoring, that's on you.
I do think that it all coming down to a coin toss in itself is stupid. I do understand, because they didn't play defense, the right way for all of 4 quarters. But here's the thing. If you're going to change the overtime rules, do more than just, okay, both teams get possession. Why don't you if you're talking about, reactive versus proactive, then, why don't you just make a little more than just this one change? Why don't you go revolutionary? Why don't you take the formats of the XFL's overtime, because you love taking stuff from the XFL, and put it there?
See, I have a different...
Or college football. College football is so much better of an overtime system.
I have a different theory for this. When I was talking to Johnny about this, time of possession should determine who gets the ball in overtime. That's if you dominated the time of possession, then you deserve to have the ball in overtime first.
That's a unique way to think about it.
See, I'm of the opinion where they should probably use the college rules where
I like honestly. As I think about it more, I like college.
20.
Yeah.
What do you?
You're at the 20 and try and see everything. Try every which way you can to get into the end zone.
Yeah, but there's.
I say and it basically each round, like each time both gets possession, that's an overtime. So we can have 5 overtimes, 6 overtimes.
Do you remember back? I think it was in the tournament, in the NCAA tournament. Do you remember the 6 overtime game for Syracuse?
Yep.
It was a classic. That was a Jim Boeheim game. Like it was.
I think I vaguely my
I'm sorry. I'm saying yes. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to.
But no one wants my point is, no one wants a 6 overtime game. It's fun every once in a while, but no one wants that all the time. It takes too long.
But we don't get overtime but we don't get overtime every time in the end.
Well, in the NFL, we've gotten way more overtime games than I remember years ago.
Then the onus falls on the defense. You don't want them to score, stop them.
No,
I'm trying to see how many games we've had overtime with in NFL.
Well, that's my point, Nick, that if you can't stop a touchdown in the first possession, then you deserve to lose in the first place. If you can't stop.
But that's what I'm saying. They should at least get a chance and have both teams start at the 20-yard line and try to get it in.
Okay, fair point. 2021 season through 6 weeks had the second most overtimes.
Right. And you know what? I don't like the whole rule of the 20-yard line thing because, first of all, there's no skill and no ability if you start from the 20-yard line for everything. There's no skill. And,
okay. No, can I read you the... Hold on, we have a comment from... Actually, we have a comment. No, not from... It is from an Anthony, but it's not from Anthony Mara.
What?
It's from Anthony Price. If you care about player safety, don't change the overtime rule.
I mean, they already don't give a shit about player safety.
Yeah.
So if we're
always
working under
mock
that
that.
assumption, you can pretty much do whatever you want. If they cared about player safety, I mean, it would basically be...
Can I read you the XFL overtime rules? Let's see if...
Well, before you go there, one second. I just want to give you one theory, and I think it's obvious, but most people are not going to realize it. It has to do with money, because they want more time on the field, which means more commercials. Each team gets a possession. That means they can take a commercial in between if they want it.
They could do the what's it called? Second screen thing.
Oh, the side by side.
Picture in picture. That's what I'm thinking.
But they could also take a commercial. Think about it. NFL's thinking about this from a money standpoint. Not they say it's because they're trying to be fair to each team. It's not.
I mean,
that's why I'd say also we're talking about player safety. Didn't what's his name? Didn't Schlosser, when he appeared on our show, talk about how they always they always come off as caring about the players.
But it's all about the money. It's all. Yeah, I'll do it again. It's all about the money.
It's not that they want to do those things. They want to be perceived as doing those things.
I'll go one better, and Tom, I'll let you make the point in a second. Think about the class. Was it a class action suit or just a regular suit with the concussions and all that stuff? The reason they did that is because if they didn't do it, they would have been sued for even more money.
Just have a 10-minute quarter, which is what it is.
Right, because they technically, even though they count down in time, it's technically not a timed quarter. So
you're kind of being Captain Pedantic, though, aren't you?
What do you mean?
Since you already did, I mean, I understand. No, I understand the logic behind a 10-minute quarter. I do.
Right, but does that mean and Anthony Price, if you can clarify the point, do you mean play a whole 10-minute quarter even if they score?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Like a 10-minute, actual 10-minute quarter.
So, Anthony, clarify that, because I'm curious if you mean a whole 10-minute quarter.
10 minutes. So 10 minutes, and then that's it.
Because I would, if you're talking about player safety, you're not playing another 10-minute quarter.
Well, can I finally read the XFL rule?
Yeah, read it.
Okay.
Read it.
5 rounds, stage an alternate single like the NHL shootouts or the MLS penalty kicks. A round will consist of one offensive play per team. One offensive play per team, where they start at the opponent's 5 line and they get one play to score. And they do it like a shootout. Basically, each time they get to the end zone is 2 points.
Right, I heard about that.
And then a whole 10-minute, yeah. Oh, no. But I bring up the XFL one.
Don't do that.
No. What do you mean don't do that? That'd be creative.
But I don't know. The rules...
Also, I do like they post some rationale. The XFL, overtime thing, that'll take less than 10 minutes. Don't be over and done with.
Yeah, but there's no
So what you're saying is we should steal more ideas from Vince McMahon?
Wait, is it still Vince McMahon? I don't even know
it's
anymore.
not like they haven't done it before.
This is from XFL 2.0. So yes, it's a Vince McMahon idea.
I thought it was The Rock now, isn't it?
Well, The Rock is now, but
that's
this was
3.0.
What's next? Are we going to get to 100.0 by the time this league actually comes out and plays games?
No, we're going to get AAF. We're going to get AAF 2.0.
No, it'll just be AAF.
Uh-oh, I see another long comment from Anthony.
Oh, God. Let's see. Money makes the choice, but most don't realize more safety for players means longer playing over the years.
Which means
I don't
more
agree with
medical
that.
records and more money.
I don't agree with
I
that.
mean, that's what the league wants, but
Right. Yeah.
players, I think, would rather be paid more to work less.
Hey, Anthony, were you talking to Commissioner Goodell when you made that statement?
I understand what he's saying. That's what the league would want for them. They
Right.
would
The
want them to
league.
play longer.
The league.
The league. Again, I am talking about the shield, quote
The
unquote,
shield.
as an amorphous concept.
You know what? The league makes me think of that. I can't remember the name of the song. It's all about the money, money, money. It's all
the
about
Jesse
the money.
J song.
Oh, the price tag song. Right.
Price tag, yes.
That's what it makes me think of, the NFL. That all they care about is the price tag.
It's just Yes, thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Mr. Price. It's just stupid to change it for the playoff, but not the regular season. I completely agree.
Right. If you're going to make a rule
Absolutely.
change, and the next one I'll give them a little bit more credit on, which we'll get to in a second. But you have to change it for both. And actually, wouldn't you rather test it in the regular season if you're going to choose one and not the playoffs?
Yeah, just
You
in
would
case
think
something
so,
screws
but
up in the
no.
playoffs. But logic, gentlemen, logic and the NFL in this case.
Right. And I'll say one thing.
Logic gets in the way of profit, so in their eyes, logic must die.
The one thing I will say, and I'll give MLB credit on this front, not Rob Manfred or anything, but I'll say that they test rules in the minor league system before they bring them up.
Or in the Atlantic League.
Which they're dumb rules in some aspects, but at least they test them out.
They don't have in the NFL though.
But they do test, which
They do field test them though.
You could test them in college football.
You can test them in college football, but
you
good
got to
luck
get the
trying to
NCAA. You got to get the
to agree to
NCAA to agree on them. Which,
By the way, have you also noticed in the different college level or minor leagues that they always have?
I just got it. The spring league. Test it in the spring league.
You could do it in the spring league, right? But I was gonna and try to follow my logic here, partially because I know that's difficult at times. But when you look at some of the professional leagues compared to the college leagues, yes, thank you, Captain Obvious.
Hey, don't make fun of him. Stop it.
Oh, come on. I've known him for a long time. I could say what I want. Anyway, you look at the NFL compared to college football. The 1 foot rule compared to the NFL with 2. That's your issue right there, that the rules are different automatically. So how can you even test rules for professional leagues when the rules are different in college?
So what sport should become like the other one? Are you saying that the NFL should be more like the NCAA or the
No, I'm saying that the college level needs to adapt to professional rules to make it easier. Have you ever noticed when wide receivers come in from college to the normal game, it's an adjustment period because they're so used to using 1 foot instead of 2 to land and bounce on a catch? That's what I'm talking about. So
Fair
I don't know.
No, I know there's sometimes.
So when you make rule adjustments, you got to make them fairly on each level.
Okay, let's get to the other rule change. Not an on the field issue, but not the on the field thing, but an off the field thing. So Rooney rule, which
technically you could say this is an on the field issue too, though, because of coaches hiring coaches.
Okay, so women are now included within this discussion of the Rooney rule, and with that, all teams must have they call it a diverse person on the offensive coaching staffs. So you guys talk to them, but let me look up these official language of the rules.
By the way, you realize that sounds like something else, right? When we're talking about gender and equality and all that stuff. Why can't they just say you need to hire a woman, a person of color?
Okay. Sorry, no, because a requirement, all 32 teams must employ a diverse person defined as either a female or a member of an ethnic or racial minority. That's the official language of the rule change.
So I'm not one. The NFL staffs do definitely need to get more diverse. These rules will be in place, but they're not going to follow them.
But why
they're not going to follow them? They're going to hire these. They're going to hire non-white people as they're gonna collect them like keychains.
Oh, that's
They're
the
not
problem.
actually going to be. They're not actually going to be in any kind of important spaces because that's
In other words,
that's
you're
the
referring
domain of the rich white guy.
to what Nick always brings up, the token rule.
Yes.
Yeah.
And essentially, and let me make sure I say this correctly when I say it. The Rooney Rule is a joke. And the reason I say it's a joke is because, again,
Loopholes.
the loophole, and they're forcing it rather than actually applying it, if you know what I mean.
There need to be more diverse staffs in the NFL. There need to be more black head coaches, more
And
black
by the
players,
way,
more black
we have
not.
Yeah, we actually got a
personal
couple of have a couple of comments here. One from each Anthony. Anthony Mary, you realize college football has 10 times the amount of fans the NFL, so maybe NFL should take more from the NCAA.
What?
Apples and oranges kind of thing.
Apples and oranges. I agree. Apples and oranges. They're two different things.
The NFL is the biggest sport in the world, period.
And not everybody gets to play in the NFL, Nick.
No, I understand. No, he was comparing the fan bases.
No, if you go down, I'd say maybe this is a local thing, because up here, yes, NFL, absolutely. But if you go down to Alabama and Florida, all that college football is
king.
A lot. Yeah, college football's king.
Right, but if you say to somebody, which one do you know better, the NFL or college sports? They're going to say they know the NFL better 9 times out of 10.
I wouldn't. I maybe here, but I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna force that opinion down there.
You could ask Johnny. You could ask Johnny down in South Carolina. You will see more Gamecocks jerseys than you ever will Panthers jerseys.
Well, right, because that's not a generally NFL populated area.
Okay, we're off that topic. Let's get back to this topic. So Anthony Price, this is his comment. I black, so I think it's stupid too. Let me hire black players just because of the color of skin and not their talent. I guess that goes to what I always say, that if a building is on fire, I don't care who the person is. I don't care what their gender or what color their skin is. Just save me. Just be the best person for the job.
I wanted to clarify the end of my statement, though. I'm all for equality and making sure everybody gets hired. What I was saying is this rule is dumb because they're forcing it rather than making it a positive experience to bring more people in that are qualified for the position.
They're not putting them in the important roles. You're going to tell me that getting getting Urban Meyer was a better move than getting Eric Bieniemy? Eric Bieniemy could coach circles around fucking Urban Meyer.
Well,
I was gonna say I don't know if that
wait a minute.
Well,
wait a minute. Can we put that one up on the poll?
What?
Oh, you didn't get the joke. Come on!
I was too busy vomiting over the decision that Urban Meyer would be a great NFL coach.
You seriously don't get the joke?
Put it up on the poll. Oh my god!
You could put that one up on the poll.
God.
Come on!
You've earned an ejection from the show right now. You're in timeout.
Come on! You have to.
You go to timeout.
Hey!
Quiet! Silence!
Come on! That joke was good, and you know it.
You got a timeout now.
My point was that this rule is stupid in so many ways. I'm all for the equality.
Wait. Remember when they said, if you do this, we'll give you draft picks.
By the way,
which is sweetening the pot, which means they can appoint a Filipino woman as.
Oh my god! As I said that, Anthony's comic.
Agreed.
Thank you. Anthony.
Yeah, they're doing the right thing for the wrong reason.
I just wanted to clarify one thing Nick said as well.
Well, Anthony requested it.
Well,
enough.
We have to give the people what they want, Nick.
Well, then the show's going to go nowhere. Anyway.
Excuse me?
I'm kidding. Give me a break. I wanted to pick up
time now. You go one more time.
Okay, let me make my point, damn it. Oh, God, now I'm sounding like Vince McMahon. Anyway.
Damn it.
It's a good thing WrestleMania is today. Anyway, so the point that Nick was making on Eric Bieniemy, that's a serious problem in the game. He is a qualified head coach. Very qualified. And every time he's the guy now that everyone is saying, oh, look, Eric Bieniemy should be up for a head coaching job. He should be.
And it was said that who thought, they said, Urban Meyer we're gonna hire Urban Meyer as head coach. Like, we haven't had college coaches struggle in the NFL before. I can't think. Oh, what's his name? There's a very prominent college football coach who didn't succeed in the NFL. I believe his initials were NS.
Oh yeah,
Oh, you mean that Nick Saban guy?
Neil
Yeah,
Sabini. I
that
know
guy.
him.
That guy.
What's Neil Sabini have to do with all this? Neil Sabini owns the butcher shop over at 115th. Yeah. You want
All right.
you want some good gabagool? You go to Neil Sabini.
All right, let's shift our focus now to Roger Goodell. Let's focus on a different aspect of Roger Goodell.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
All right, let me find the thing from.
Well, I did the ETB minute on it. So,
Yes, you did.
So basically, what happens here? So investigation came out. They cleared it up. We talked about this last week. That Kevin Stefanski basically came out and said, "Oh, we did our due diligence. There's no problems here," even though there's 22 civil lawsuits that no one seems to care about.
Okay, so there was actually this took place at a media day where Goodell took the lawsuits involving Dan Snyder and Brian Flores, but he also made a mention of the lawsuit going on with Deshaun Watson as an ad just started to burst its way through my ears. So here's what Mr. Goodell had to say. Our people are working on the investigation. Obviously, these are serious charges. We're looking at this seriously. We now have, obviously, at least resolution from the criminal side of it. Obviously, there are still civil charges that are going on. So our investigators hopefully will have access to more information that will be helpful, obviously, in getting to the conclusion of what are the facts and was there a violation of the personal conduct policy. But that determination will be made by a joint disciplinary officer that was established by the NFLPA and the NFL. She will make that decision when the facts are all in, and we'll see. There's no time frame on that. Now, just to clarify, the NFL, again, I've said this weekly, the NFL is conducting its own investigation, separate from the criminal and civil ones.
So if I may use my bullshit to English translator software here.
Okay.
I'm taking that statement to mean we haven't conducted an investigation. We're not going to conduct an investigation. You're going to get nothing and like it, you fucking losers.
No.
Wait a minute.
Here's what they're going to do. They're going to sit back and wait. They're going to wait for the civil matters to, finish up. And then 4 games or 8 games.
They just need to figure out which 2 checks they're going
to
they're going to deduct from Deshaun Watson's massive salary.
Actually, I have a bullshit to English translator.
Congratulations, dickweeds.
I mean, first of all, what the fuck does that guy know? I mean, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we've already established multiple times on this show that they couldn't give a shit less about any of the women in this case.
No,
they really don't care. They are staring at their watches, tapping their feet, waiting, counting down the hours, the minutes even, when they cannot have to care about this and get back to selling the Deshaun Watson Brown jersey.
Anthony Mara has an idea. They are going to roll the dice and see how many days it lays on. Perfect.
Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. 2 weeks.
Vacillation.
I got craps. As Aerosmith once sang, same song and dance.
Yep.
Let's see. Anthony Price. The NFL is fun and stupid. Let's not hire someone who just stood up for the people in service. We don't care about players with rape cases. Yeah, go play. We don't talk about female feelings or take them seriously.
So
that's the point, Anthony.
Let's just clarify.
Long and short of it.
Let's just clarify one thing, because there is stories going around about Kaepernick apparently wanting to come back to the NFL. which is what
Again, though, same song and dance. We've heard this time and time again, and
They
you know, the
dangled the
NFL
carrot of maybe working him out, and then nothing ever happened.
Well, so what high school are they going to go to this time, and how many teams are actually going to show up?
St. Nowheresville. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, and
and that's not talking about that, Alfred. It's just this is the same song and dance. So, like, nothing is going to change with the NFL. Unfortunately, nothing changes.
there's one way to sum this whole thing up.
Look at all the failure.
From top to bottom.
Let's talk about something happier now. Let's talk about the Final Four. It's Final Four weekend. We got on the men's side Villanova and Kansas, and we got UNC and Duke. And the women actually have their final game already set. They had their Final Four matchups yesterday, and the game tomorrow night will be Connecticut versus South Carolina.
Permission to make one unrelated observation.
Okay.
Gino Auriemma looks like Mike Francesa's evil twin. He does. I was watching the
Oh, by the
UConn
way,
State-
Anthony has sorry to interrupt, Nick, but Anthony has an idea for the Kaepernick Iowa, next to the Field of Dreams.
The problem is there would have to be dreams that can be realized for that
No,
to happen.
the problem is the NFL is the place where dreams are shattered.
Oh, exactly. That was going to be my next point. Roger Goodell, Roger Gano.
Besides, I was watching the UConn Stanford game, and it just popped out that Gino Auriemma. He looks like somebody tried to clone Mike Francesa, but couldn't quite get the details right.
Looks like somebody tried to create Mike Francesa in the WWE video game.
By the way, wow. Well, I was going to say, though, Mike Francesa's back in the media game doing a podcast, though.
Anthony says, "Can we cuss on this show?"
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. How about yes.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry, Field of Shattered Dreams. Next to the
Field of Shattered
Dreams.
Wait, wasn't there a Green Day song, Boulevard of Broken Dreams?
Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Yes. One of my
We can
favorite
say
Green Day
we
songs.
can say the names, we just can't play the damn songs.
Besides, in terms of the Final Four, who do you like?
Well, I broke this down with Johnny the other day on Game On. I like UNC. Unfortunately, I think Coach K is going to go down with 2 consecutive losses to North Carolina, which is going to look bad, but in the long run. And then I like Villanova over Kansas.
That's why Anthony asked.
I like him. He gets it.
Can I just say though, you know, I want to give credit to our local team, St. Peter's, who had a hell of a run. Elite Eight, got to have a little parade and a party down in Jersey City. Big ups to them, and I understand the UNC Duke matchup, like that. Why people wanted it. I didn't realize that UNC and Duke had never faced each other in the Final Four.
Nope,
before.
never have. I think they've faced.
I think Duke actually has a 50-49 lead
Yes.
on UNC in their series of matchups.
99 games, 50-49.
But I just think I'm sorry, Nick, but I just think,
Yeah.
you know, as much as UNC and Duke is the, you know, dream college matchup, I would have loved the St. Peter's Duke game. The magical, the Cinderella run of St. Peter's, I think, is the story of this March Madness, not this Final Four matchup.
What about their coach getting a 6-year deal with Seton Hall?
Seton Hall, like that's, and I agree, Anthony. This is a great March Madness, but man, I would have loved, and St. Peter's went far for a team that, you know, a 15 seed. But man, would it have been something if they had made this Final Four?
I mean, the way I look at it,
and even if they had a chance to beat them, to wipe that smug look off of Coach K's face.
and by the way,
my God, that's the stuff that they make paintings about.
one thing
That's
I would
how great art is made.
One thing I would say about St. Peter's is, first of all, shout out to St. Peter's. And two, the way I look at these matchups and the way I look at it, I think we basically have fuck Duke syndrome at this point because we've seen Duke so many times.
I mean, I hate to say it, but they're kind of we get, all three of us are Yankee fans, but we all act like Red Sox fans when it comes to Duke, because it's like Why do they always have to win everything?
But that's why I'm picking Duke to win it all. I feel like this is going to be the typical Cinderella. I mean, not the Cinderella, but this is going to be the typical. Your Peyton Mannings and John Elway's. The guy goes out on top.
The usual suspects.
But
the usual suspects, yes.
The one thing I would say, though, is I think we would have been pissed off if we had to see Kentucky and Duke and North Carolina and all the Kansas and all the teams that typically make the Final Four. Like
Villanova's made a couple Final Fours, though.
Jay Wright. No one talks about Jay Wright. I think he's been with Villanova for over 10 years now. I think
kind of an underrated coach. He needs a little more credit over, your Coach K's and your Caliparis and all of them.
And by the way,
but nobody ever talks about him because he is not one of those two people.
Yeah, but no, I could give two shits about Calipari with Kentucky. The amount of rumors we've heard a million times that he was going to be the head coach of the Nets.
Yeah, exactly. That picture will become the new crying Jordan meme.
But by the way,
oh my God,
don't get mad at me, but that'll be your next NFT.
I mean,
oh God,
it would definitely sell better than the monkey smoking a cigarette. So.
Don't say that. Our profile is going to get hacked next.
Oh God! Please don't. I don't even
Wait a minute.
know what Ethereum is. Nor do I want to find out. Come on.
Jeff Passan got hacked by the.
Yeah, he became an NFT thing.
It was. I saw some athletes get hacked by those people too. Oh man!
But because he is not one of those two people, you never hear him because we all know who ESPN is gunning for.
Well, yeah, obviously that's quite obvious.
I mean, they've had a 30 for 30 queued up. The minute that man shuffles off the mortal coil, they're going to be premiering a 30 for 30 about his life.
The thing is, don't get me wrong, Mike Krzyzewski's story is entertaining in every way, shape, or form. But I get mad when companies like ESPN are like you just said, we have a 30 for 30 ready. We already know his career is going to be this, and that. And they're probably following him around with like a sneaky camera where you can't even see it. Like it might, for all we know, it could be following him in the bathroom for all we know.
I just think, all right, so UNC and Duke, I think UNC, keep in mind though, UNC was an 8th seed. They weren't exactly the top of the top this year. So that's why I want to go with Duke for the finals. And then I just have had this strange feeling that, I knew Kansas was going to be in this Final Four. I've had people tell me that Villanova should have been the Final Four. Kind of doubted it, but here they are. And, they've played some tight basketball. So I might have to go with Villanova beating Kansas.
Yeah. I will too.
I think Villanova, North Carolina is going to be a great matchup, but unfortunately, and people may get mad at me for this, but I think Duke, North Carolina is going to be the higher rated matchup than the championship game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah, you're right.
Because can you imagine if that was the championship game, UNC Duke? That would blow everything away. Unfortunately, I'll give you another piece of information that people don't know. The game is not on CBS, the championship game this year.
What?
Who has it?
It's on TBS.
Because
they rotate the game. But how does that make any sense? TBS is cable.
Yeah, I understand what they're doing with the partnership, but I don't like that. I don't like that because that's cable.
You're taking fans away.
Have you checked out the rise of the? No, I actually haven't.
I heard about it. I watched some trailers on it. It looks really good.
I still gotta watch that. I think that looks really good. Anthony Price, he's got Kansas going all the way. I respect that pick.
It's not wrong. They've been playing well all tournament.
UNC Villanova for Anthony. As for the women's side, I mean,
I have to admit, I haven't really watched the women's side.
Yeah, well, here's what I'm going to say about
it's going to be UConn. Come on.
When is it? It seems like year after year after year. We're talking about, we bring up Yankees fans, and we're going to talk about MLB soon. UConn is the Yankees of the women's basketball.
They are of women's college basketball.
Yeah.
So
I mean, how do you go against Gino?
Let's just go with the favorite here. I mean,
I don't know how I don't know how you go against Gino. You don't.
You
can't.
Gino is like Boeheim and Dean, or who am I thinking of? The North Carolina Hall of Fame coach. I can't think of it at the moment. Or like Duke with Mike Krzyzewski. They're all names that are known. So you just got to go with the name at this point. UConn is really the one in charge. Now, they were talking about South Carolina.
Dean Smith.
Dean Smith, thank you. That when you have big names, they're the ones that usually come to the cream of the crop.
Yeah. So it looks like, like what's it called? I think it's going to be Duke Villanova. By the way, that men's Final Four game. I have, like I mentioned, Duke going on top. Although I could very well see Villanova doing it. So it seems like the big consensus we got here is Nova in the championship game, maybe Kansas. Whoever wins that matchup, and then Connecticut for the women's side. Let's see. UConn has been dominant, says Anthony, but South Carolina has had a great tournament.
They have.
I'm looking forward to this. I like Final Four weekend.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is we all go crazy because it takes up our lives. And then when it's gone, we're like, where did it go? That's what usually happens.
I'd say it's so intense, but it's so brief when you think about the fact that, it's 52 weeks in a year. And such.
It's quick. It's quick. Especially when the tournament comes and people say, oh my God, it's so many games. Well, it snaps and it's gone.
I'd say, well, that's the thing. It's that opening weekend. We have the round of 64 and round of 32, and then it's just the weekends.
Right.
All right, let's talk some baseball. First, very briefly, Albert Pujols. He is back with the Cardinals, and if the confirmation is, do we have another comment here? The beauty of sports.
Yeah,
exactly.
Anyways, Albert Pujols signs 1-year deal with the Cardinals, and he has confirmed this will be his final season in Major League Baseball. He and Yadi Molina will be going out, after one last season together.
Is he retiring also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't hear that. Okay, I don't remember.
And they want to go into the Hall of Fame together. So,
well, I don't know if that'll happen, but I think
Pujols definitely.
Bullshit. That will. That absolutely will.
No, Pujols is definitely a shoe.
Pujols, even though the end of his career, the last half has been kind of black, he has one key number.
700.
Okay, two key numbers.
What?
3,000.
Oh, 3,000. That's right. He needs 21 home runs to get to 700, I think. Which is
yes, I had a slip of the tongue. I'm sorry.
What did you say? I didn't even hear what you said.
I almost said it. I said Anthony, and then I changed it. Albert Pujols.
I mean, you definitely could.
Also, yes, I do think Yachty's going to the Hall of Fame. I
do, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to take longer for Yachty than it is for Pujols.
You don't think Yachty's going to be first ballot?
No.
You're right.
Again, the stupidity of having multiple ballots. Are you or are you not a Hall of Famer? You should be able to answer that.
Let me clarify. They're both Hall of Famers.
I know. No, I'm saying the ballots, though. The fact that it's like first year, fifth year.
Let me just take a moment to put this on the record that it's bullshit that Jorge Posada is not a Hall of Famer.
Right, but you have to remember one thing, Nick, and people forget about this. It's not the World Series you won; it's your career numbers. That's how you get in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And that's bullshit.
Why? Because you can't. Not everyone has a chance to win a World Series.
You win championships. That's the important part. That's the important part of the season that you need to perform good in.
And I'm not arguing here. The point I would make is, how do you accumulate 3,000 hits or 500 to 700 home runs? It's in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to put that out there.
All right, let's say we're running out of time.
Let's get baseball in. Yeah,
let's get baseball. All right, this is our last show before opening day. Opening day is Thursday. We're actually going to get a full 162 games. I can't believe it.
Woo!
They called your bluff. They called your bluff. They got it in before the wire, and now Tom Albano is going to be watching baseball.
So wait a minute. Are you saying they cut the right wire when they were defusing the bomb device?
With 2 seconds left.
Well, yeah, actually 1 second left. But who's counting?
It's the red one, not the blue one.
Anthony Posada was great, but not legendary. Then he ends opening day.
Woo! So, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Michael Buffer. So,
wow, that was great tie-in right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, looking at the field from a macro perspective,
I have the over-unders also.
Good.
It's going to be a good season. I think we will see some good baseball.
As long as we don't have to watch the Mets.
I mean, I'm going to keep tabs on them. You're not?
No, I am, but I'm saying they just keep running into injury after injury.
So,
Same old song and dance.
Come on and beat the Mets.
who do you think will win the AL? Who do you think will win the
Green of
respective
Wire of
divisions?
Money was. And Anthony, can we throw Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame now? Well, I mean, the Hall of Fame has already proven to be the Hall of Fame proved to be just a joke when it only let David Ortiz in this last voting.
You know
Yeah,
what?
So
Instead of Hall of Fame, it should be called Hall of Fakes.
It's the Hall of Fame. No. It's Hall of Fame asterisk. And Anthony, that's not an insult at Roger Clemens. That's an insult at the Writers Association.
if you're gonna go full heel turn, you might as well call yourself the Hollywood Hall of Fame.
I thought you were saying I was gonna turn heel.
No, them.
Let's see. I think we're gonna get a fight in the comments section.
Oh no.
Break it up, boys. Break it up. We gotta finish out. So, just quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we will go into this a little bit more in more depth on Johnny's show later, but we'll get to that. But who do you think will win their respective divisions?
Well,
okay, let's do.
We have statistical data to back this up, so
okay.
I have the divisions broken down. So where do we want to do? How do we want to do?
Let's do it old school style. Let's start with the West. NL West, AL West, NL Central. Let's do our old school thing.
All right. So should pick a division? I have all the
NL
numbers.
West. NL West.
Oh, NL West. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So according to this, the Dodgers are obviously the favorite. We knew that.
And I think for a reason. And I think yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
I'm
So
locking in.
over under 97.5 wins.
Over.
I think they get to 98 or 99. Maybe even 100. I think they could be 100.
I think they're going to. Hey, with Freddie Freeman now in the picture and getting even
Could
stronger,
very well be a 100-win team.
I think it's going to be. I think I would take a. If you're a betting person, take the over. Actually, I can do this again. Take the over. All right.
Take the money.
Take the money. Actually, can you do that with over-unders?
No, you can't. You can't. We got it. We only did with the lines. I
Right.
can't wait for the NFL season again so we can do that.
Right. All right. San Diego. Well, the Padres. I don't know why they wrote it as San Diego. Whatever. Padres, 88.5 wins.
Over.
Under.
Because Tatis is out for the first 2 to 3 months.
Good point.
Because Tatis is out for 2 to 3 months, and I know they've got Manny Machado, but besides those two, I mean...
He's hurt now, too.
Well, I was going to say, what team do you have around them? Now, let me clarify. They have names. They should have performed, but last season proved to be, how do you put it, the disaster?
There's one more piece of news. There's one more piece of news as well. It's not breaking, but it's another piece of news. Eric Hosmer's on the trade block right now.
Yeah, so I don't see this being good for San Diego. Under.
I think these projections are too high. Definitely under. All right, San Francisco, 85.5, which means it has to be 86 if you bet the over.
I think they ride the momentum they got in the last postseason. Over.
Did they make any moves? I don't even know. Nothing major.
Well, they lost Chris Bryant.
Yeah, but that was bound to happen. They had really good momentum last season. They just fell.
That's why I said I think they ride the momentum.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over. I think they finish ahead of San Diego in second place.
And in that last playoff game, they only lost 1-0 to the Dodgers. They held their own against the team.
Right. Okay. And then you have the bottom of the cellar, the two teams. Colorado, the Rockies, 68.5, over under.
Under.
They just got Chris Bryant.
Under.
So,
well, let me ask Arizona, what's their win total?
they're over under 66.5.
I think the Rockies finished just above Arizona, so I'm gonna go under for both.
Yeah, I would probably go under for both. I don't know what to expect from both of those teams. All right, you want to move over to the AL West and stay in the West?
Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of a weird division because this division made a lot of moves in it.
Yes.
So we obviously know who's going to be projected number one in this division already. So the Astros. So 91.5 over under.
91.5?
Yeah.
I actually under. I think they get 90.
Under.
I think they get 90.
Interesting. I mean, their pitching is a little bit of a question mark for sure. Their bullpen has always been a question mark.
And they've lost a few names.
They
over the
lost
last
Correa.
couple years.
They lost Correa, which is major. So now you could walk Altuve half the time if you wanted to in the lineup because he isn't the protection anymore. So I'm going to say slightly under, like everybody, and say 90 or maybe even a few less, depending. All right, the Angels. Now the Angels just made an interesting move a couple hours ago. They released Justin Upton with $28 million left.
And again, I go under, and they don't deserve to have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani.
So it's 83.5. What do you got, Nick?
I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I think this division, besides Houston, I think Houston should run away with this division, even though they're only going to win 90 games roughly. If that's what we think. But I'm going to go under. Seattle. Now, this is the team to watch. Seattle is 83.5 like the Angels. Over, under.
Over.
Over.
I think Seattle jumps over. Arizona. Anaheim.
Do you think Seattle has a chance at division aspirations?
No.
No?
I think it's a Houston runaway.
Seattle is much better than they're not the clown show that they once were.
They could definitely compete for a wild card. I'll tell you that.
Now, the interesting team, the one that made a lot of moves, the Rangers, 74.5. Over, under.
I'm going to say
I
over,
think they
but
could,
not that much over.
Yeah, over. I think that the maximum I put them at is a 500 team.
I mean, who'd you get? You got Seager, and you got what was it? The third baseman,
Marcus Semien.
Marcus Semien. They made big splashes, but their pitching is terrible.
Yeah, I'm not confident with their pitching.
So 74.5. You said
over, but I put them at 500 max.
Okay, Nick.
I'm going to
over
go
under 74.5.
Under.
I think it's going to be 500, like you said. So I'll just say slightly over.
All right, now I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, the team that's actually, I think I read today that they spent money on something today. I'm not joking either. I think they did, if I'm not mistaken. I can't confirm or deny that. I saw something. I don't know if it's true.
Okay, well, whatever. I still put them at $0 for this offseason.
So Oakland is 70.5 over under.
On three, gentlemen. 1, 2, 3.
Under. So under.
We're going to eat those words, I bet, later at the end of this season, aren't we?
Hot take. The two names, Shamanaya and who were the pitchers that
Montes.
Manea Montes. I think they get traded at trade deadline.
Why were they not traded in the offseason?
They couldn't get a deal done.
The Yankees are dumb. I'm sorry. They are.
I say the fact that they have both Volpe. They have IKF, Volpe, and what's his name, and they couldn't get a deal done. I hate it.
All right, where do we want to move quickly next?
Central, NL Central.
Okay, this is an interesting division too. Milwaukee at the top, 88.5 wins, over under.
I go over. I think they can be 89 or 90.
They can be 89 or 90.
So the over would be 89. So yeah, I think it'll be slight. I think they have a chance to win a few over 90. It's possible. No one talks about them though. That's what's so weird.
This is the quiet division, honestly.
Okay, St. Louis, 84.5, over under.
84.5.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the over.
Their pitching is a question mark.
I'm gonna go under.
I think I might go slightly under, like 500, maybe.
Yeah.
And 500 might get them a wild card spot, as sick as that is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Chicago Cubs, 75.5, over under.
Under.
They made no moves.
They
Under.
made some moves.
I think one or two less.
I think I could see them being Oakland territory at 70. So yeah, I'm gonna go under. Cincinnati, 74.5.
The fact they just lost Castellanos hurts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
I'm gonna go over, but I don't know if they beat out St. Louis for a wild card spot.
Cincy, you're talking about Cincy?
Yeah.
I mean, Joey Votto, I feel bad for.
Joey Votto, I think his time is running out, unfortunately.
I think Maybe they'll get to 80 wins. Maybe. So I guess say slightly over. All right. Everybody hang on to their seats. Pittsburgh. The Pirates. 65.5. Over under.
Under.
I think they're a 65-win team.
Well, it's 65.5. So it's either over.
Under.
You're going to go under? Oh, you're taking right under in technicality. Okay. Have we really seen a 60-win team over the last couple of years? I haven't really.
But the Orioles last season, they were, what's it called? What's the Orioles 2021 season record was? They were 52 and 110.
God, okay. I think they're going to be under. I don't know how much under, but I think Pittsburgh is going to be under.
So we agree Milwaukee's running away with this division.
Pretty much, yeah. All right. Let's move to the AL Central. Interesting division to watch. Chicago at the top. They made some moves. Their pitching is great.
They've got a great young team. Great young team.
If they don't win that division, that's an upset. Like in every way.
What's the over-under?
91.5.
What did they do last season? Let me see. White Sox.
But you gotta like Giolito. You have to
93. They were 93. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go over. I'm going over.
Nick.
I'm going over. Yeah.
Like I said, they're going to be one of the top teams in baseball to watch with Giolito and those guys. I'm going to take the over.
They are of the future. I will say that.
Their pitching is going to be studs going forward. All right. Now we got numbers that significantly drop after the 91.5. Minnesota 81.5 over under.
Over.
Over.
You think Correa buys them a couple wins?
83, 84.
Is that why you think Correa buys them a few wins?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'd agree. So I'd take the over. Tigers 77.5 over under.
I think they can get to 500.
Nick?
I'm gonna go over. Yeah.
I think it's going to be somewhere between 80 and 83. So I'd say
agree.
over. I don't know who they really have at this point besides an aging Miguel Cabrera, but
I think they've got.
Oh, they signed Baez or no?
Did they sign Baez? Yes, they did.
To that ridiculous contract,
and they have Casey Mize. I think they've got in their prospect pool and such. I think they've got some up and comers.
They just got out. They just got out from under that Jordan Zimmerman contract.
Yeah.
All right. The Commanders, or not Commanders.
Yeah, the Guardians.
Guardians. I don't want to get these confused. Too many names. Guardians. Right. I'm thinking football. All right. The Guardians 76.5 over under.
Under.
Yeah, the Guardians are in trouble. In a lot of ways, they're in trouble.
Jose Ramirez, you may want to get a new home. I'll say that.
Is that the only star they have left there?
Feels like it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And what's the pitching? 0? Yeah, I'm going to go under. They might. I could see them 65 to 70 wins.
Who's left?
Kansas City. Now they just got back. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Zach Greinke's back.
I'm gonna go under.
What's the over/under?
74.5.
Under, but I think they beat out Cleveland.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I could see that too. I'm going to go under on that one as well. All right. Where are we going? The East?
Yes. We go to the NL East first.
The NL East is probably the most entertaining division in all of the game this coming season. This is
going to be the most interesting division, probably, yeah.
Now, you're going to be shocked by this. These were updated on March 31st as we do these now.
Okay.
Atlanta and the Mets, both are 90.5.
Both have what?
Both are over under 90.5.
Atlanta over, Mets under.
The Mets are in trouble with DeGrom now out 4 to 6 weeks.
And if the Scherzer injury rumors are true, yeah, they'll be in big trouble. Again, this goes back to what I said when Buck was hired. It was a great hire, but but honestly, that doesn't sell me. All these moves that the Mets are taking don't sell me. Until we see success from the Mets, until they get rid of the same song and dance, I will always not believe. And last season, I think, was the biggest show of that. When July 4th weekend, you were leading the NL East, and you led the NL East for a long time. and then you absolutely collapse and miss the playoffs.
Anthony, don't get mad at me when I make this next statement, but I think the Mets are going to be a 500 team this year.
See, I think I'm more of an optimist than you guys are.
Hell no.
I think
no.
that Buck can get the most out of these guys. They're going to play hard for him, and I think it is going to make a difference.
Anthony, you are delusional.
They have a chance to be a playoff team. I'm saying.
Well,
they have a chance, but again, I'm a prove me wrong guy. You got to prove to me that you can actually do it.
Yeah. Show me you can do it, and then I'll believe.
With DeGrom out 4 to 6 weeks, you're automatically going to lose at least 1 to 2 times a week on top of what you were going to have.
But this is why I reserve the right to be wrong.
I mean,
Okay.
was that as bad as my Max Scherzer prediction that he was going to end up in a
I think that needs to be on the soundboard.
I'll go find it. But anyway, Anthony's delusional. There's no way this team. I'm taking a massive under on the Mets right now. I would tell everybody to go out and bet the under. And I would take an over on the Braves. Philadelphia, 85.5.
Who
Over.
just got Castellanos?
Over.
I think not big over. 86, 87, maybe 88 over.
Their offense is probably one of the best in baseball, but their pitching is a big fat question mark in every way. I could see them winning 87, 88 games, but nothing more.
Philly in the 70s.
Get the. You know what? Anthony's banned for the chat for the rest of the show.
Oh, I can't do it. I can't make that work.
70 wins. Give me a break. If Philly's going to win 70, then the Mets are going to win 70. Give me a break. Miami, 76.5 over under.
Under. You know what? I think Derek Jeter leaving is going to put a hex on them.
Yeah, under.
I mean, does this team have? They made what? The Jorge Soler signing was the one that they made, I think.
Phillies hit no pitching, no defense.
Yeah, but their offense seems to be better than your Mets offense right now. They have 4 of the best power hitters in baseball, and they hit for average. I don't want to hear it. I know the Mets bias is showing right now.
Well, what's Washington's over under then?
Well, let's. Did we say what we were taking on Miami is 76.5?
You said all said under.
Okay, yeah, I would have said under anyway. Washington, which wasn't it a few years ago when they won the World Series?
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, good times.
Now they're 71.5 on the over under.
I'm gonna go under, but not that much under.
Who do they have? They have Soto. That's it.
I'm going to go over. I think they can get 73.
I would say it's a crapshoot. I'll take the over. Like you 73, 75 wins at the most.
Okay, AL East.
Oh, the fun part. Now everyone's going to call us biased when we talk about the Yankees. All right, here we go.
Nope.
So the Yankees, 91.5. Under. See, we're not biased Yankee fans after all.
I need to see that Hicks can have a bounce back year. DJ can have a bounce back year. You can get a lot out of
DJ
and JD.
Sorry, to respond to you, Nick. DJ, yes, for a bounce back. DJ, yes. Hicks, no.
I want to see good things out of Glaber. I want to see good things out of Josh Donaldson. I'm not concerned about Judge or Stanton. I'm also concerned about the rotation behind Cole
and Sevy, who might not be healthy again.
Which,
he looked pretty good today.
I've already said Sevy was a question mark, even as a 2 with his injury troubles. And Cole, here's the thing, guys. We're talking about Cole. Last season was a pretty bad season for Cole.
He was, and he got hurt.
Giving up the long ball, yeah.
Well, and he got hurt, so.
I'm hot take. The Yankees will either be the final wildcard team in or will miss the playoffs.
Ow, that hurts.
I agree with you. I think they could be a 500 team.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go 500 team far. I wouldn't go that far.
I'm saying if their pitching implodes, they could be a 500 team.
Who's the next team up on your over-unders?
Well, that's not the highest total. That's just the one they had at the top. Toronto is the team that is scary.
Toronto will win the division. I'm calling it now.
92.5, and I think you should take the over.
What's the over-under?
92.5 on Toronto.
Oh, okay. You got me scared. I thought you said 82.5. I'm
No.
like, what website is that?
I still think that's low. I think Toronto has a chance to win 100 games this year.
I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go over, but not that much over.
I go 94, 95.
But would you be surprised if they won 100 games?
No.
Yeah, I would take the over on that one by far. Tampa Bay, which is, again, the Yankees can't beat Tampa Bay if it was going to kill them. So 89.5 over under Tampa Bay.
Over, I think 90 or 91.
Yeah, I would take the over on that one.
The same position that the Yankees were in last season.
So they're going to be fighting that wild card with Tampa.
Yep.
Nick?
Which is going to be trouble.
I'm going to go over.
All right. Boston, which made some moves. They got Trevor Story. 85.5 over under Boston.
Over, I think 86 or 87. I think Red Sox are too much a crapshoot. I wouldn't bet them.
So you think that Boston pretty much going to be out?
88 or 89. Probably where my head's
I was
at.
going to say, but the thing with the Yankees, I think they can be third in at least in the AL East. I don't think it's just Toronto and Tampa to worry about. It's the emerging White Sox team with their young guns. It's the Astros somehow still managing to stay alive. The Mariners, you were talking about being up and coming. It's all these teams of youth that, that actually are starting to prove themselves, whereas some of the Yankees youth is starting to, we talk about, what's it called, prospect hogging.
Right. I think that number actually of 85.5 is actually spot on for Boston, believe it or not. I would take the 86 and just go slightly over because I think that number is right on point. Okay. Now the white whale of the division.
Say it.
The Orioles. 62.5.
And guess what? Under. Way under.
I think they're going to win like 50.
That's never been done before.
Wait, what is the MLB record for worst record? What was that Mets record?
62 and 100, I think.
Hang on. What was it?
No, we said that Pittsburgh won 50-something games in one of their seasons.
Hold on. MLB worst record ever. I need to see this. The Cleveland Spiders of 1899 went 20 and 134.
That wasn't even 162 games either.
Okay, 162 game. Let me specify for Google. It still gives me Cleveland Spiders.
All right, close enough.
Hang on. No, I am not done here.
Here, wait. Let's see if I can.
Modern era. Okay. 30. Okay. Actually, that 1962 Mets, that was 40 and 120. So
That's
40
close.
and 120. Okay, so you know what? I don't think they're going to get that record, but I think it's going to be pretty bad.
I think they win 50.
No, I don't even think they get to 50. I think they're a 47-48 win team.
Wow. The whole premise is, though, you're way under, like all of us are. Yeah.
Yes. There's another hot take for you.
Oh. Well, we made it through. Our over-under seat.
Actually, Anthony started to comment his picks for the AL East.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I was going
to. Okay, he has the Yankees 88 and 91, 88 through 91, and the first wild card team in.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Toronto 100 win is possible. Tampa Bay, he has 91 to 93. So so he agrees. Yankees third place in the AL East.
Yeah,
he has the Red Sox 86 to 80. Oh, he has the Yankees. Red Sox fourth, the Yankees third. Although it could very well be a tie, 88 to 81 and 86 to 88.
That division.
Don't the Astros hold the worst at 30 and 132?
I don't know.
No, it can't be 30 and 100.
Yeah, that's 162 games. But I don't know if that's right.
No, that's not right.
I don't think that's right.
They don't. Okay, so
that would be incredible if that was the record.
Hang on, let me go up to here because he also gave playoff predictions. He has Mets and Braves for the East, Cardinals for the Central, and Dodgers, Padres, Giants for the West. Oh yeah, remember it's 12-team playoffs starting this year, so it's gonna be 3 wild card teams. So he has For divisions, it sounds like Mets, Cardinals, Dodgers, and then Braves, Padres, Giants are your wild cards. He has not even by that. He's just going by the divisions. And the AL, he has Yankees, Tampa, Toronto, Twins. He said one too many teams. Remove the Tigers. Twins for the Central, and then Angels, Mariners for the
He
West.
has the Tigers competing?
I think they could. In a strong year, I think they could.
Maybe for the second wild card? Maybe?
All right. So, I mean, we're way over time here.
Yeah, let's just do some
Let's wrap up. I was going to say, if you're going to do playoff stuff, you'll do it on Johnny's show. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's do some housekeeping just so we can get out of here. So coming up on Wednesday, we haven't really determined a time as of yet, but we are going to be doing a MLB preview show for Game On, which is on our Empty the Bench podcast network. We'll break it all down. We'll go over the over-unders like we just did here, but we'll have a little more time to be expansive on everything that's going on in the world of Major League Baseball. We'll go over maybe some of the rule change stuff. We'll do all that stuff, and we'll break that down on Wednesday.
That'll be with Nick and Nick. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. So Nick Morganson, Nick Federa, Johnny Montaldano, and...
Yes, his new co-host, Hankin Dichter, who's now co-host with Johnny on Game On. He hosts Big Blue Avenue and Hitting for the Cycle on my friend's podcast network who I went to school with, the Review and Preview Network. So now he's doing a show for us. And then you have that one last banner you want to share also.
Yeah, so that's not the only thing about Wednesday. Wednesday will at 1 p.m. you said?
It's probably going to be 1 p.m., yeah.
1 p.m. Eastern. Inside the Numbers with Danny B. You know Danny B from his show with Jamie, Keeping It Real, every Thursday.
We interviewed him. We interviewed him a couple years ago.
Yeah, he was the second interview I think we ever did for this show.
Hey, that video on Facebook did 1,000 views for us.
Inside the Numbers. So it's gonna premiere on Wednesday as a little, along with the special broadcast for Game On, talking about MLB preview the day before the regular season kicks off, and then it'll be every Monday and every Friday. It's our first two shows a week podcast. Right.
So the way it's going to work is, and I'll say it quickly because I know we're over here. So Friday is the preview for the weekend and just remember, Inside the Numbers gambling show we're talking about here. Please be responsible, even if you're going to watch this show, please. So Friday will be the weekend preview for MLB games, a little NBA, when the NFL comes back, college sports, but a lot of MLB right now to go through. And then Monday will be the preview for the whole week of all the slates of games. So that's how we came up with the theory of doing two shows.
Yeah, so that'll be our first two show a week podcast. So shout out to Danny B for another edition, and shout out to Hank. Both, welcome aboard. All right. Make sure, if you're watching us on Twitter, to like this episode and retweet it to spread it around. Make sure, if you're watching on Facebook, to like the post and share it as well. And make sure to give the page a like as well. And if you're watching us on our home on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. When you hit subscribe, ring that bell. That way you get notifications for all of the Empty the Bench Network shows, whether it's us on Empty the Bench, whether it's Game On, Inside the Numbers, Keeping It Real, Here Now the News, Beyond the Bench, Living Life, so much.
The Her Show. Yeah.
And the Her Show.
So we have so many shows and more coming. We have so much content that it's going to be coming out of your eyeballs.
And big thank you once again to Knack.
Big thank you to Knack as well.
Thank you to Knack for letting us for sponsoring our shenanigans.
Letting us run wild with creativity. Go get this bag. Make sure you put the code BENCH when you go to checkout. Make sure you put the TSA-approved lock in your cart. As you said, use the word BENCH, and you get this the TSA-approved lock for free. So,
all right.
Have we babbled enough?
Yeah, I'm tired.
It's time to hit the showers. Go watch WrestleMania.
Go watch WrestleMania. Go watch the Final Four tonight.
Woo!
Go do whatever.
Yeah. If you're not gonna watch sports, then party and just party responsibly on this Saturday night.
Shots fired!
I didn't take a shot at anybody there.
All right.
I think that's it.
For Nick Morganson, Nick Federa, I'm Tom Alvano. We'll see you next time on Empty the Bench. Until then, take care, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. We'll see you next week.